that has come in over the last hour or so has been the AMFI data, and that's the mutual fund data for the month of November. And we'll get you some reactions on that. Sandeep Bagla, the CEO at Trust Mutual Fund, is joining in to discuss the data released. Sandeep, good afternoon. Thank you so much for waiting by and joining us today. I'd like to start off by asking you about the fact that there has been a dip month on month in the net equity inflows, right? There has been marginal dip in the large cap flows, but the broader market flows have remained largely consistent. What do you attribute this fall to? Is it that flurry of IPOs that we saw last month, and big ticket IPOs as well, right, for the likes of Hyundai, for Swiggy? Do you attribute that to, or is there some other reason as well as to why this number has been a reduction over a month on month basis?
So I would like to draw your attention that the numbers of net flows into mutual funds over the period have been close to 36,000 crores on a monthly basis for the last 5-6 months, as per your own visual. Only in the last month it had gone to 42,000 crores, and that was on back of exceptional flows into sectoral and thematic funds. And one or two NFOs in sectoral and thematic funds can easily get inflows of 3,000-4,000 crores nowadays. So most likely the reason was that there were lesser NFOs of sectoral and thematic funds. If we look at the flows into mid caps, small caps, or flexi caps, they are by and large intact, and they have actually grown a bit. I was also told that in November there were lesser number of working days, and that could also lead to some amount of slowdown in the flows. But if you remove the one-off item of the NFOs for the thematic and sectoral funds, I think the flows have been quite steady, and they have been rising in certain categories like small cap funds and flexi cap funds, where the index performance has been far stronger than the large cap oriented Nifty 50.
Right. So then a two-part question. Then NFO flows have come off. Is that a trend you believe will continue? Because thematic funds, etc., they've reached their peak. A lot of people are now believing that it'll go back to steady terrain. That's part one of the question. The second part is with regards to SIPs. I mean, we have the SIP number close to 320 odd crores itself, which is great as a monthly number on an absolute basis, but month on month, that number too has been flat. If you could explain why that has happened.
So, see, I think there were a lot of distractions in the month of November. I think there could be some, election-led issues. There could be festivals. So it could have been a slow month. But I expect the SIPs to gradually, increase over a period of time. There could be months where they could be flat, or it could even come down. So I don't see any reason or anything to be read into this beyond the numbers, which are just marginally lower. But they are flat actually. So I don't see any reason to, read much into this. I think the numbers are fairly strong, and 25,000 crores to sustain 25,000 crores fresh inflows into SIP is not easy. So I think it's a fantastic number, and I think it is a great support for the equity markets as a whole.
So do you expect this number to go up? It also shows, right, that there is still more scope for penetration to increase, right? And once that happens, you expect the numbers to go up gradually as well, right?
I do. In fact, I think this is one of the mega trends that we are seeing, that people are, instead of investing more into gold, real estate, and FDs, people are shifting money, taking more chances. We have seen the growth of earnings much higher in case of small caps and mid caps compared to the larger caps. And I think the Indian investor has understood that trend quite well. And while distributors and fund managers have been saying to be cautious, I think the money keeps on coming. And I think this will continue for a long period of time. I mean, not a few months. I think if you were to speculate that, what will this number be at the end of 5 years, I think will be substantially higher than the current numbers that we are seeing.
All right, we take that point. Let's welcome DP Singh, who's the Deputy MD and Joint CEO at SBI Mutual Fund, joining in as well for a quick word on this. These numbers, while they're strong on an absolute basis, they have seen some softness either month on month or flat moves sequentially, largely because of the factors that were earlier mentioned as well. Lower number of NFOs, maybe low number of working days, the festive season, some volatility in the markets as well. 25,000 crore SIP, where do you think this settles going forward? And NFOs, do you think, there is a bit of a pause for NFOs, at least the thematic funds, for the next couple of months? Can we expect that?
No, definitely. I think there will be pause for NFOs because whatever themes are working out or whatever the things were there, innovations were there, those have come into the market, and I am definitely agree with you that there will be pause on the NFOs. Of course, on the passive side, everybody would like to complete the bouquet. So whosoever is not having fund houses will complete the bouquet on the passive side as well, because there's no constraint on the capacity or something. One can have a fund starting with 10, 20 crores also. So I think that trend will continue, that people will have some passive funds launches, but that will not attract too big a money. I mean, those should not be very meaningful numbers per se.
All right, Sandeep, Mr. Singh, thank you so much for sparing time joining us this afternoon to decode these AMFI numbers. Steady, despite this one-off that we had seen in the month of October, but still steady on an average basis. But the flashes on your screen, if you